Hey guys, thanks for jumping on here. My name is Cameron Barsanti. We do this every week, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time here on our off-market Facebook group. So thanks for coming. For those of you who I don't know, again, my name is Cameron Barsanti, CEO and founder of Storage Life. Storage Life, we're a community across the country. We're finding, funding, and operating self-storage together. Teach you how to do it, or we help you scale your existing portfolio. If you want to know more, just go to storagelife.com. Today, we're going to go over the deal funnel, which I think is the most important part of this whole game. It isn't, I don't think, I know it is. The deal funnel, the funnel. We're gonna break it down. I'm really excited. So a deal funnel, and I'm gonna show you here, I'm gonna share my screen in a bit, but it's the same funnel that everybody, other business has. It's the same funnel. It's all the same thing. It's no matter what business you're in, it's a sales marketing funnel. It starts with sales and marketing. It goes to conversation. It goes to then negotiation. There's other, titles for that. Follow up, conversion. It's just a funnel. So the problem that most people have is they get stuck in analysis paralysis. That's one problem. The other problem is they think that being an investor means something different than being in business. And I disagree. If you're passive investing, that's a different story. But if you're actively trying to invest and you're not treating it like a business, I think you're going to fail because most people are treating it like a business that are succeeding in it. It's too good. People are making too much money. I'm making too much money. We all are that are in the business. So we're going to treat it like a business. So if you're an investor and you're kind of dabbling, maybe you would be better off as a passive investor. But if you want to actively look for storage, you got to activate like a business. Doesn't mean you have to do this full time. You just have to be consistent like a business. If you were going to start a coffee business, you weren't going to ramp up, build your website, start selling coffee, start getting clients, and then disappear for 2 months. You would quickly crash and burn. It's the same thing. Everything, it's the same thing. Fitness. You can't go work out for 30 days in a row and then take 60 days off, right? It's just consistency. So the funnel, breaking down the funnel today, if you have any questions, DM me, drop them in the comments. I'll definitely get back to you. But the funnel is going to help you concentrate. Everybody's focused on so many different things. My job is to help you focus on only what actually moves the needle forward. All tasks are not created equal. You looking up on LoopNet and Crexy every night before bed, in my opinion, is not a task that's going to move the needle forward as the task of making follow-ups, sending letters, sending emails, maybe texts, phone calls if you're sending texts, everything making sure you're compliant. But this is why we're going to break this funnel down, because when you're frustrated or you're stuck, revert back to what you actually should be spending time doing. Revert back to what you should actually be spending time doing. And that's going to help you keep focused. And I promise you, if you stay focused on what should be your highest priorities, you're going to actually continue to move the needle forward. What that's going to do, it's going to create momentum, and it's going to make you feel good, and it's going to create excitement, momentum, potential opportunity, seller conversations, underwriting, LOIs, offers. That's fun. That's exciting. You can't go down this rabbit hole of wanting to be in the business without this excitement, these small wins. Talking to an owner is a small win. I had 8 owners call my phone this week. 8 different owners from my letters. So that's fun. That's exciting. I'm jumping on a call here in an hour with sellers that got a letter through their uncle, and we're going to break down the deal, right? So anyway, the funnel. I'm going to share my screen here. This is what this looks like. Well, I'll zoom out real quick here. It's just a funnel. Now, don't be fooled. This funnel, even though it says off-market acquisition funnel, the Storage Life dual funnel system, it's just the same funnel that every sales and marketing company uses. Let's zoom in here. The funnel. What should you be doing? Always calling, mailing, texting, emails, and looking for good owner contact information. Does that mean buy a pre-generated list? I'm not a big fan. You can, but you have to be okay with knowing that pre-generated list came from somebody else and somebody else probably bought it. And a lot of the leads are probably don't have accurate contact information. So as you guys know, we place virtual assistants. Why? They come trained from our VA team, and we train them to skip trace, to call, to email, text, whatever anybody needs. leads, but a lot of their time is spent skip tracing. Why? Because it's the most important thing. You need real contact information. You need real data. You have to know how to get a hold of the owner. What's the point? Going back to these other ideas, this lead generation, right? Cold calling, direct mail. You don't have to do all of them. You could do one of them. We primarily cold call. That's pretty much all we've done ever. But I like to send letters. I have a strategy that works. So I also send mail. We've been back and forth on texting. It's always a little bit tricky because, again, you got to stay compliant. Emails can work. We don't do them as much, but I have other operator buddies that say emails work really well for them. You can door knock. You can go on Facebook Marketplace. You can go on Crexy and LoopNet. Those are all small channels of the lead generation. They don't have as big of a tail as this, because see, this, if you can figure out a system, and maybe it's partnering. Our community, we partner on a lot. We have accountability partners and groups, and we share VAs, and we do all this because it can be expensive, but also because we're creating a system. This system, I could be talking to an owner today that's going to sell in 8 years. Is that a long time? Well, yeah, but not in 8 years. It's not going to be. It's going to be a phone call away. I had an owner call me last week. He's like, "Hey man, got your letter. Stood out to me. Just want to let you know we're running in about a year." Cool. What's your email? Sent him an email right there on the phone. We chatted for 30 minutes, and I'm like, "Cool, man. Can't wait to talk to you in a year. Obviously, I'm going to stay in touch." So there's a much longer tail. Crexy, LoopNet brokers, they're not going to bring you as much opportunity as your funnel. So you got to create it. In my opinion, I don't care if you're in multifamily, single family, house flipping, wholesaling. It doesn't matter. Your funnel, in my opinion, is the longevity of whatever you're going to do in the game of commercial real estate. And you can even have that argument with boring businesses or businesses you're buying. Same thing. You can rinse and repeat what we're doing. We're creating a funnel of opportunity, and that's the same thing you do in business. It's no different. I'm just wanting to help and encourage you guys create a funnel like a business, because that's really where you're going to see things happen. Leads, conversion, and follow-up. This is where everybody fails, including me, including my team. It's the follow-ups. This is the hardest part. So when you're frustrated, look back, make sure you're generating leads. And then when you got 3,000 to 4,000 leads, maybe the leads aren't your problem. It's actually the conversation and follow-up. Why do we all fail here? Well, because follow-ups and conversations take a long time. It's very time consuming. They are both very time consuming. So you have a couple of choices. You have to do this yourself. You can have partners like I do, accountability partners. My VAs help me with conversations and follow-ups. We're building a system, because otherwise we only have so much time in the day. When I first started, I was grinding on the phone 40 hours a week, and I was having a lot of conversations. That's how I started. That's part of why I got very good at this whole game of deal flow and a deal funnel, is because I'd been in the trenches doing it for 6 years. So first in multifamily, then single family, and then storage. That's why we scaled so quickly. We did what I think is more important than anything. We can give you tools and bells and whistles of underwriting and template, and that's all important, and good tips and how to underwrite a deal and how to look, all that's fun. But this is what really matters. It's your funnel. It's 90% of the game. So here's the problem. You're always going to fail at this to a certain extent. You can't be perfect. Let's say you gathered 5,000 leads over the last 12 months. There are deals in that lead sheet. The other thing I love about the funnel is we build a funnel that's ours. Nobody else has that lead sheet. We skip traced most of them. We pick them. We use Go Fish to locate the properties because it's very quick and it's very cheap. And so we immediately can find mom and pops with no reviews, building size. We love it. And it's quick and it's cheap. Like I said, we use GoFish on the front end. We also sometimes use Google Maps. We used to only use Google Maps. GoFish is about to have a evolve, which is really exciting. They got a lot of exciting things, updates in the works. But it's going to continue to be our number one machine, because on the front end, identifying these leads, skip tracing them. You can skip trace on GoFish. There feels like they're still working on the skip trace. So I also like to manually. But anyway, the point is that list nobody else has. And that's a list that I'm going to be able to use for my entire duration of being in this business. I love that. I think it's invaluable. So my point is, once you have all those leads, yeah, you're still creating new leads, but there's old leads that are ready to sell and you just didn't get to them. You weren't top of mind. You didn't keep up with them. You didn't follow up enough. That's the trick. How can we do it? We can't be everywhere at once. We continue to try and build and work on and perfect or improve our systems, our funnels, allowing us to try and be top of mind and follow up as much as we possibly can. And, have sellers that make calls to us, that send us emails, that send us texts, say, hey, Cam, it's Sue. I'm ready to sell. That's what we want. That's the point. So we fail because let's say you have 5,000 leads in your CRM, wherever you keep these leads. We have a few different strategies, but there are leads in there that you talked to 2 years ago or 8 months ago that they're ready to sell. But if you didn't follow up with them enough, don't have a consistent drip, you're going to potentially miss that opportunity. And that's why the follow-up game is so hard. Look at any business. Look at people marketing. Look at brokers. Look at people marketing for restaurants or hotels. You see how much they follow up with us? You see those emails you get that are from Hilton that are sending you, and even when you unsubscribe and then you go stay at a Hilton, they just keep chasing us around. You have to do the same thing. It's just business, right? Off market, lead generation, conversation and follow-up, qualified deals, seller timeline and willingness. How motivated are they, right? How motivated are they? Sniff it out. If a seller's ready to play ball, they're going to want too much. That's okay. They always want too much. I'm a seller. I want too much. You have to get past that. You have to work harder at understanding their situation, who they are, their motivation, and their situation. You have to work harder. You have to get past the purchase price they want. It is always going to be too high. Almost always. 99% of the time. Can't stop there. Most people do. Even if it's on market. So what? Make the offer you want to make. Well, what if the broker says they don't want to carry the paper? I tell the broker you're going to send a seller carry offer anyway. Don't be rattled by what they want. Understand their problem and solve it. That's all you can do. Understand their problem and solve it. Solve it. Are they really willing? Or are they just jerking your chain? Underwriting started? Nah, maybe. I mean, yes, but preliminary, nothing crazy. Really, both are orange. They happen kind of simultaneously to us. We have a strategy we developed with our range calculator and our 3 option. And so we're kind of simultaneously doing this. We're making offers quick, really kind of assess. Our offers are a range offer. The strategy is then the seller tells us exactly what they want, and we're not married to a single number. So this is for us done simultaneously. And then hopefully a LOA, contract. LOI I don't send unless there's a broker involved. I'd rather go straight to contracts and we close the deals, right? That's the funnel. What else? Really quick. I just want to show you this. I mentioned where do we keep our leads? We keep our leads in a CRM. GoFish has their own CRM. Here's the notes. This was actually skip traced by GoFish. There you go, guys. Holly Farmer. That's probably the owner, probably her address. Give her a call. She's in our CRM. So our VAs or our partners can come in and leave notes. There's obviously much more robust CRMs. So I'm not necessarily saying use GoFish for CRM, but it has those capabilities. We have lead tracking templates that we've built out with all the information. I obviously cleared them blank, but this goes down about 6,000 deep because that's how many leads just my new VAs have created in the last 12 months. Owner name, right? However you're going to keep track of them. You may be somebody that gets overwhelmed with stuff like this. Those are KPI tracking templates. Maybe you need something that's just on your desk. It looks more mom and poppy. It's like, what did I do today? Maybe write in the tasks, call owners, follow up with owners, jump on GoFish, jump on Google Maps, whatever it is. You just have to keep doing what will move the needle forward the most. It's the top of the funnel. Always the top of the funnel. It's the follow-up. It's the leads. It's the follow-ups. It's the leads. It's the follow-ups. 90% of your time. No, it's more fun to go on LoopNet and Crexy. And I'm not saying you can't find a deal there, but it's not long-term success for you. Maybe it's a little bit more of a KPI tracking template for your VAs. We've created this for our own VAs. Lead nurturing. I pulled this up because look, lead awareness, interest, evaluation, advertise, visit, lead generation, lead qualification. These are deal funnels. It's every business is the same. I know it's annoying, but it's true. This is a cool little daily tracker scorecard that my co-coach Jordan started creating. We're dealing with. Helps people just do what they've done for the day, the week, creates a score. I know. I'm sure some people are wanting this big reveal. There is no big reveal. It's simple. It's a funnel. Your top of the funnel is where all the majority of the work happens. And then the follow-up is where all the real majority of the work happens. That's what sets us all apart. The better you get at your follow-up game, the system, your funnel, I promise you, the more traction you're gonna have. And then guess what happens? When you're getting calls and owner calls, like the call that I got yesterday and the lunch meeting I have today, I had lunch on Monday with an owner here. That's exciting. Do I know if those deals are gonna come to fruition? I don't know, but I'm getting traction. Traction creates opportunity. Opportunity creates traction. It creates excitement. It keeps up the momentum. And then you're going to start closing more deals. It's actually that simple, but it's hard. Know that it's hard. Like, this is not easy. It's not easy to make millions of dollars in storage. It's hard, but you can do it. Build like a business, not like an investor. Hope this helps, guys. DM me. Instagram's the best way to find me. Cameron Barsanti. That's it. Instagram. Or shoot me on, find me on Facebook or whatever. And happy to help. Okay. Good luck. All right, guys. Peace.